This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Coming up on Game On, we take a lovely vacation to the jungle.
Including guns, explosions, you know, the usual family vacation stuff.
Great stuff, yeah. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Game On. I'm Cameron Harris.
And I'm Sean O'Brien.
And today, we're reviewing one of my personal favorite games, Uncharted: Drake's Fortune.
I've heard you talk a lot about this game. It sounds awesome.
It's a really good game. It is rated T for teen. It's kind of, it's got, some gun-related violence, I guess you would call it. Not that much though. It's not like super gory or anything like that.
Pretty mellow.
Exactly, yeah. Action-adventure style game. The basic genre, basically imagine a modern-day Indiana Jones.
Cool.
Really, really fun. Only available on the PlayStation 3.
So another reason, yet again, to go buy a PS3.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of my games are PS3 only because when they're PS3 only, they can take full advantage of the PlayStation 3's hardware and give you really good graphics, as we will see.
Got it. Cool.
So let's get into it.
Sounds great.
So here we are. I've just kind of warped into one of the later levels of Uncharted. Let me just set up the story a little bit for you. You play this guy here. His name is Drake, and he is actually an ancestor of the explorer Francis Drake.
Oh, okay.
So his name is Nathan Drake. Theoretically, Francis Drake died at sea and was buried at sea. But in reality, he faked his own death because he was onto something way bigger. Some kind of gigantic treasure. Basically, you and a reporter, who is essentially tagging along, as usual, the heroess,
right.
heroine, whatever, are basically trying to track down this treasure. Of course, you have the typical evil businessman and
right.
his endless army of bad guys.
Yeah, and his ploys to stop you along the way.
Exactly. So that's what you're fighting up against, and most of it takes place on this island. So you're on this jungle area, and really quite gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely.
The storyline is actually really good. I can't give away too much because it does have some twists and turns. So just looking around, you see I'm interacting with the shrubs.
Yeah, I mean, the graphics on this look amazing.
They really are.
I mean, just in the first probably less than 30 seconds of the game when you popped in, I noticed you walked through the shrub and each individual leaf kind of fanned away from you.
Yeah, that's very unusual to see. These jungle scenes in particular are just gorgeous because there's so much. And now, okay, here we are. You've got the interactions. You have these big glowing, the triangle button. So that shows you how to interact with things. Can't get through the gate because there's a lock on it. So this is where the gunplay comes in. It's an interesting system. If you just start hitting R1, you're not actually aiming. There's no crosshairs, you'll notice.
Oh, okay.
So if you do that, that's called run and gun shooting, where you're shooting in the general direction that you're moving, but there's no real targeting system. You're not sure where you're going to hit.
Got it.
If you hold down the L1 button, you actually get a crosshairs. So you hold down this button to aim a little bit more accurately.
Got it.
And then you can specifically target the lock.
Cool.
Hit this button to reload. Get a nice little indicator of how much you have up there. That disappears after a while.
Okay.
Because it's not always gunplay. A lot of it's puzzle solving, some of it's platformer.
Oh.
Yeah, this is an old place.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely cool. So the controls are pretty intuitive as far as how you aim and shoot.
Pretty intuitive, yeah. The main difference is just that making that conscious decision to hit the aim button, because otherwise, running a gun really isn't that accurate. You'll waste your ammo pretty quickly. And then you have things like jump, and then you also have things like roll. Also, something I should point out, you'll notice that this is really popular in PlayStation 3 games. There's no real interface. There's no HUD that pops up all the time. You get if you're shooting, you get the weapons HUD or something like that. But under normal circumstances, you don't have anything, and you never have a health meter. What happens is the lower your health, the more desaturated the video becomes.
Oh, got it.
And when you're dangerously close, it's really desaturated, really contrasty, black and white, and you actually hear your heart pumping. So that's when you know you gotta take cover, and then over time your health regenerates. Okay, now here, if I hit O to take cover, you can see I've got some bad guys up here. Now, when you take cover, you're basically safe, but then you can hit the aim button to move around, and
got it.
And you can see it got a little bit desaturated because I was getting hit. I'll reload. And ammo is kind of left lying around in the game. Guns, boxes of ammo, things like that. You just press triangle to pick it up. Now we've got these guys over here.
I really like that you can take cover.
Yeah. Of course, some things like this wall here, the more they shoot at it, the more it'll crumble away.
Ah.
And here's a good example. I can jump over this and...
Got it. So that was the brutal combo that popped up down there?
Yes, exactly. You have two types of melee. You can either hit the square button, which is your punching button. Hit that 4 times and you'll do a quick thing. So that's quick. The brutal combo does the exact same thing. Either way, you do the all square combo or the brutal combo. Either one will knock the enemies out entirely very quickly.
Got it.
If you do the brutal combo, they drop more ammo.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of an interesting system. To switch weapons, what you use is you actually use the arrow keys.
Oh, okay.
Here's the interesting thing. This is your weapon switcher. I have just one gun. I have my main pistol right there, and then I have my grenades down there. The up arrow key will also reload.
Okay.
And if I have a larger gun, it'll show up over here. You can only carry 3 things: grenades, a small gun, and a larger gun. So for example, if you're carrying an AK-47, but there's a rocket launcher over here, you have to swap them out.
Oh, okay.
So you actually drop, you don't lose it, you just drop the AK-47 on the ground, pick up the rocket launcher, use it, and then if you want, you can come back later.
Okay, so you can only carry a small gun and a large gun. You can't carry, say, an AK-47 and a rocket launcher at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is actually pretty realistic.
Right.
You actually have to make some judgment calls. This is kind of interesting. It's like, okay, this gun's better, but I'll have less ammo of this than if I stick with the one I've got. So you got to kind of figure that stuff out in your mind. So there's a little bit of strategy involved in this.
Got it. Wow.
You can see these landscapes are just unbelievable. Damn it. Oh, here we go. There's an AK-47.
Nice.
There aren't a ton of weapons, but the ones that are in there are really good, and it allows you to really, recognize really quickly. Okay, this one does this one does that. You remember pretty easy. Oh, here's a good example.
Got it.
Barrel.
Ooh, nice.
A lot of explosions or explosive
Things that will blow up.
Yeah, of course. Same thing. They can shoot explosive devices next to you as well. So you got to be careful about that.
And the AI is smart enough to know, oh, I'm going to shoot this barrel, and that's next to him. It's not. It's a pretty smart AI.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly when you're on the harder difficulty settings, they get smarter, not just tougher.
Got it.
And there are times when, particularly on the harder levels, where it's like, how am I supposed to finish this?
Yeah.
You'll try like 6 times. And sometimes when you do, when you do lose, you just start over at the last checkpoint. But there are sometimes where the checkpoints are just too far away.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, here's another cool thing. You can shoot, like I'm just hanging here.
Yeah.
You can't use your big weapon, but you can use your small weapon and just kind of like peek over here.
Oh, that's nifty.
And then you just drop back down, you're out of danger.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the cover aspect, because a lot of games, you're running and shooting and running and shooting, and there's no really, you can't really hide behind anything.
You
just
can
kind of
move yourself like behind a big block, but you can't like just duck behind there and stay there and then like poke around, shoot, go back down.
I really like that aspect.
It's pretty unique. It's a very different experience. It doesn't feel like a typical first-person shooter. So clearly, Drake's Fortune, awesome game. Some of the best parts, I'm just gonna pause so I don't get annihilated here. Some of the best parts of the game are actually the dialogue and the storyline. There are some great one-liners, really clever, snappy dialogue, great characters. Of course, there's the evil, businessman guy with his, evil sidekick. And then there's your female sidekick who's a reporter. And then there's the cranky old guy with the cigar. Come on, kid, let's find the treasure. Right. Great stuff. And also, there's a basically thumbs up from here.
Definitely. Totally wish there was an Xbox version. Unfortunately, there isn't. It's just another excuse for me to go get a PS3.
Yeah, as if you needed one. But
yeah.
And also, the good news is there's a sequel.
Ooh.
Uncharted 2, Among Thieves.
Very nice.
Which we will have to review in the future. It's even better than this game, in my opinion. But
it's a good sequel.
Yeah, not going to give anything too big away. And be sure to play this one first, though, because it kind of sets up, it introduces you to the characters.
Okay.
So
that'll make a little bit more sense if you play this one first.
Exactly. There are references to the first game and the second one, so play through this one first. It's worth it. Then play the second one. It's really worth it.
Sweet. Sounds great.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. So until next time, be sure to visit our website at www.harwoodpodcast.com. We will have all the previous Game On episodes there, as well as a link to where you can buy Drake's Fortune Uncharted for yourself.
Definitely check it out, guys.
Definitely check it out. And if you have any questions or comments for us about the show, games we should review, for example, anything like that, send us an email. My email address is cameron@harwoodpodcast.com. I'll forward it to you.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, until next time.
Game on.
Game on.